They got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something. That's why I ain't.
What it do, fam? You know what time it is. You're listening to the Urban Sports Scene, and welcome to our Urban Sports Scenes Washington Commanders, versus the Minnesota Vikings preview show. Yeah, I know y'all missed me. I wasn't on a couple shows, but I'm doing good. I'm all right, feeling a little better. But tomorrow at 1 p.m., the Commanders are in Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Before we dive into this game, we got to knock out some logistics. And you can check out our website, which is www.urbansportscene.com. You can subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search The Urban Sports Scene. Make sure you subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel. If you're in the YouTube chat, we accept super chats. Super chats help us support our show. The super chats will be prioritized over all comments in the chat. Don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene, and like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Also join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Just search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right, let's get into our tradition, the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. Host of Sports Journey's Not Bland show, Dujunnea Bland, will join me to preview the Commanders versus the Vikings. Right now, let me put my guy in. Let me get my guy in right now. What is going on, Dujunnea?
What's up? Another week.
Another week. Oh yeah, another week, bro. What's going on, DC Slim? What's going on, Santiago? Yeah, welcome back. Hey, appreciate you, man. Yes, I'm getting myself back in order. Appreciate y'all for checking in and seeing what's up with me. What's going on, Paul? Appreciate everybody. Yeah. All right, man. But yeah, Dujunnea, man, another week. Everybody geeked. We got the man coming back. I didn't mention
yes,
it, I didn't mention it, because I didn't want to, I wanted to give it some suspense, some little whatever. And I'm about to talk about Noah Brown. Now I'm playing with you. I ain't talking about no Noah Brown.
I need to see Trey Burks, bro. I need to see Trey Burks.
I ain't going to go in there. We're going to talk about that later because a lot of people keep talking about Noah Brown. I'm like, why? But okay, exactly. It is what it is. We got the word that Jayden Daniels will be returning Sunday. First off, what are your expectations for Jayden Daniels and the Commanders' offense with him returning at the helm?
Efficiency. They have to be efficient. There's no reason why they shouldn't be. We know what Jayden is and is all about. He puts in the hard work, and for once this season, he's going to have everybody that he needs to make that happen. Now, we just need to have Cliff Kingsbury on board and make sure that we're doing what we can for Jayden to make him his best self and get the ball rolling so he can be in rhythm the entire game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, my first thing I just want to see, I expect to be a little rust, you know what I mean? Like you haven't played football in such a long time and it's been an off and on season, right? He's been in games, out games. So I expect some rust. I'm just hoping that like they ease him in the process. You know what I mean? My goal is I hope in terms of the offense to stick to what we saw on Sunday night. We're running the football.
Absolutely.
That game plan. And I think you stick to that game plan. You ease Jayden into the situation. I don't think they should go into the situation trying to have him throwing the ball off the rip to prove that Jayden's here or whatnot. Ease him into the process. You ease him into the process, I think you'll get a better outcome of what we need to see with Jayden. And also keep him – I know a lot of people talked about this. Maybe trying some stuff and do some new stuff with Jayden. I mean, maybe have him under center rather than in shotgun. These are my expectations because the season's lost. I don't care what you like in terms
exactly, of it is.
So there are things that I feel like
the reality of it.
Yeah, there's some things you can experiment with. Have him under center. I know obviously, in LSU and in the NFL, he's predominantly been, shotgun heavy, right? That's been his thing. But have him under center. Have him. Let's limit him running like these run plays with him. Like let this be more of a learning process within the rest of the 2025 season.
Yeah, I think this is about him getting quality reps. and building on something, setting a foundation in this game and allowing him to continue to build on that foundation from an early start and let it progress through the game so that, he can continue to roll as we get into these last few games of the regular season and leave this season with some momentum and some confidence as a complete unit and some confidence for himself. Because I'm sure it's been pretty tough for him, trying to make things happen for this offense. And just they haven't been able to get things rolling for whatever those reasons are, from play calling to not having, quality weapons out there, people not being able to get open and, protection issues, situational ball problems. So it'd be nice for them to be able to put together something in this game that they can build off of and carry into the next, because you've got some divisional games coming up, and the fans would like to see some wins in those divisional games that kind of spoil the party for the rest of the fans in the division.
Yeah, and what kind of, from what you saw earlier from Jayden this year, what improvements do you want to see in this game from him?
I want to see better accuracy. And I think some of that is I felt like sometimes he was second guessing himself, as if, should I stay in the pocket and throw, or should I run? And that delay of, I'm going to run, no, I'm not. Now it's late, and now the ball is either in the dirt or, it's behind the guy. You have to throw it away, or you might be taking a sack. So be more decisive with the football in your decision making. And I think with all the pieces back, that should help him. But Cliff has got to do a good job of making sure that they stay ahead of the sticks and they're not constantly fighting from a 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13. We can't have these 3rd and long situations for him early in the football game, because this Minnesota Vikings defense is very much capable. They love to blitz. They love to come in and put pressure on a quarterback. But this defense is absolutely, positively vulnerable as well. Yeah.
Todd agrees with you. Todd says, I want Jayden to trust what he sees. Stop hesitating. Pretty much the same exact thing you just said, Dujunnea. DC Slim was up. My guy said Cliff will put 5 in a bad spot. Hopefully he doesn't, man. I mean, that's the thing. Cliff should learn from his situation. Have him in the pocket. Start with the design runs. I know, Jayden's athletic ability in terms of running is part of his superpower. But to be real with you, honestly, sometimes you got to take away that element from a player who believes they can do it all, right? You got to take it away. Like, you got to take that away from him, because he's going to do whatever it takes to win a football game. We know this already. So sometimes you got to kind of ease some of that stuff away from him, especially at this point in the season, where I think it's more important, from what you're talking about, Dujunnea, to see what he can do with his arms rather than what he can do with his legs.
Absolutely. And let that running come naturally.
Yes.
Because of his decision making. Don't put him in spots where we're absolutely positively going to run him, and that's what it is, design run. I just let him do that. Let him do that on his own. Yeah. I agree with you there, Santiago. Gotta test things vertically as well. I've definitely got a list of things of how this team can be effective against this Vikings defense.
Yeah, definitely. So you mentioned it a little bit, and I'm glad you tapped into like what this Vikings defense brings to the table in terms of, they have a bunch of pressure packages, right? They bring pressure. Like Brian Flores is one of the better defensive coordinators in the NFL, period. He just knows how to scheme up defense. So with all that being said, which matchups in pass protection are most critical for keeping Jayden Daniels upright?
I just think what you got to do is don't allow them to get in down and distance situations where they know they can pin their ears back. Because at the end of the day, we know that this secondary has been flagged a lot and has the potential to have problems. They don't have that consistency, and that declining performance kind of hurts their overall defense. They love to rush the passer. The quarterback can't not be discomfort, because if they put you in a discomfortable situation or uncomfortable situation, you're going to have a problem. That's what they love to do. So it's going to be key for them to make for them to be able to put him in a position to make quality decisions effectively. But their front seven is, to me, where the big part lies as far as them getting after you and trying to be disruptive, but you can't play into their hand. It's all situational. It's all really on Cliff Kingsbury and how he calls this offense. Because we've seen in games where teams have attacked downhill and let's go there, because this team defensively does not stop the run that well. They're 20th in the league. So this offense is 6th in the league in running the football. So you have the advantage there. So you want to make sure that you stay on those keys. And they are not very good on third down. They're in the 30th, 7th percentile of third downs allowed. So they don't stop you well. So there's some advantages there. And what I like that they can do offensively is, first and foremost, let's go with a little quick tempo and let's keep it short and intermediate and allow your guys to make plays after the catch. I called it in the last game. We called it in the last game about Terry getting slants. Yeah. What happened when he got the slants?
It's crazy. And slanting more. Dujunnea, slant some more.
Exactly.
I'm about to give that man his flowers. Slant some more, but go ahead, though. Go ahead.
And they have to attack the middle of this defense. When you can get things out quick and you can run the ball well, now it slows down that pass rush. And they do not cover well in the back end at all. They do not cover well in the back end. And that's where attacking over the middle helps, especially in like zone and those blitz heavy packages. You've got to be able to attack the middle and the outside of this defense, and play action and some pass run combos might help. I think we need to stay away from those combos and just run the football because I think they have 3 backs that are all bring something different, but all are effective in being able to move the football down the field. And I think a lot of misdirection and tempo change will help also keep this defense off balance for the Minnesota Vikings and really play into the hands of what this offense really likes to do well. It takes away that aggressive blitzing now, because now you can't be allowing guys rushing when you are misdirection, blacks are splitting gaps, or you're throwing it over the middle to a guy like Zach Ertz or whoever you want to throw it over the middle to. That's going to be the key, is being able to have that balance of doing that. And just, like you said, I don't know who commented that, but attacking downfield is the next thing that you can do, because now you've got them on your heels. You've got the front seven kind of playing a little flat-footed. They're kind of questioning whether they need to come upfield or not to keep contained. And then you bust one over the middle down the field to, I think it should be a Terry or Trey Burks involved in that type of deal.
I know that's right.
So I think those are high. I think all those, the middle of the field is a high percentage thing for them in the passing game. And then off of that, because I believe they can run the football against this team, down the field is definitely wide open, and that's where you can get some explosive plays.
Yeah, I'm with you about the secondary. I think Minnesota secondary isn't like their backing is their weak part of their defense. But again, that's why I give Brian Flores so much credit in terms of how he's schemes up defense, because even with a weak like look at Washington's situation. We've always complained about our secondary, right? Like the last couple of seasons, but it doesn't really kill Minnesota like it kills Washington. You know what I'm saying? Like Washington, it's like it's like a problem, but Minnesota know how to scheme up things for it to not be a problem. So that's why I always give him credit. But in terms of what you're saying, I think it's all like they need to run the football, because there is plays like when they can put themselves in a situation to get play action, get the big explosive play that will be open. So you keep running the football with your 3-headed monster. It was productive against Denver. I think that's one thing that's very important, that you went against one of the best defenses in the NFL, the Denver Broncos, period. And though Minnesota, I would argue, maybe make the argument like they're more aggressive in terms of bringing pressure. But they're not better than the Broncos defense. Like there's no Patrick Surtain on that defense. Their defensive ends aren't as good as what we saw in Denver, right? Like you don't have that. They have 2 guys. They do have 2 guys, right? the linebackers in Minnesota are fast, right? So that's the one thing. I think their linebacker core to me is like the situation where you really have to be more concerned with. And interior, I mean, they got guys on the inside that play real hard. You got one former dude here and Jonathan Allen over there now. So they have ability on the defensive line. But I think if you match up what we saw, the Broncos to this, like this is a good. You got tested. There's not a situation where you played a lax defense and now you're going against the Minnesota Vikings defense. You've been tested already. Vance Joseph is an aggressive coach.
So.
He's aggressive defensive coach. So you should be battle tested. It's not like you went from no knock on Cowboy fans, whatever, but it's not like you went to play the Dallas Cowboys defense and now you're playing the Broncos the Vikings defense. You're tested back-to-back weeks, which gives you an opportunity to say, you know what? All right, if I see in this defense, I'm confident with my backup quarterback and Marcus Mariota, that should feel confident in, throwing the football and also running the football, like you said, because you're going against a team that's not pretty good against the run.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, there's three things that I'm looking at here. You guys can take notes if you like, but Eric Wilson is one guy that has been their really workhorse when it comes down to rushing a passer. He has the highest pressure rate at 23.5% of any player to have rushed the passer in at least 100 snaps. So with that, he's like 119 pass rushes. He is one of two off-ball linebackers to have done so, and that's Keaton Ellis with 131. So they like to bring Wilson a lot, and we have a great matchup between Laramie Tunsil and Jonathan Greenard. And I think this guy is going to have a tough time because Larry Tunsil has allowed pressure on just 7.6% of his pass blocking this season. He's eighth lowest among left tackles with 200 plus pass blocks. So that is a area where the Washington Commanders favor. And I also like their ability in the passing game. We talked about it, tempo. The Commanders have used their no-huddle offense 68.1% of the time this season, and that's the highest rate of any offense since at least 2016. So they have had quite a bit of success with that, and I think that's how you can keep this team off balance. A little mixture of both. Tempo is everything, and I think that's how Jayden gets in rhythm, I believe, as well. And when you're dealing with a team that likes to rush the passer, I think that's exactly what I do. I come out in my first script of plays, my script for the first drive is tempo with a lot of run and misdirection run type plays, but also taking advantage of the fact that I do have a guy in Zach Ertz that can test the middle. I do have a Terry McLaurin now that can run the slant and get yards after catch. I do have a Deebo Samuels that I can use inside the running game very creatively during that. Don't let them sub nothing. Just let them I think you're going to get a good idea of what they are going to do as well from that. So that's exactly what I would do my first drive and my first series of scripted plays. That's where I would go. I think that's where Jayden gets in rhythm and does an excellent job of. Once that happens, it seems like everything else begins to fall into place.
DC Slim says 5 is bad against the blitz. When the blitz gets through, I'm gonna give credit to the offensive line. We're gonna be honest. What they did against the Broncos, who did blitz, they picked up a lot of the blitzes, man. So I can only go off of what we saw, and I don't expect. Honestly, with Terry being back, and with the emergence of Treylon Burks, I think that's going. I feel, and then obviously you're going to have Deebo Samuels out there. I'm a firm believer that they won't blitzes. The blitzes, they won't do no zero blitzes. They won't take the risk of going one-on-one with Terry McLaurin. You look, man. I'm gonna be real with you. And like, it looked different when you have a number one. It just looked different. It looked different. And you saw he wasn't going against an average cornerback. He was going with arguably the best cornerback in the NFL. Yes. And made the best cornerback in the NFL work. like literally made him work. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he had like 30 yards of receiving, but that's
that touchdown.
That touchdown was it.
He literally cooked him.
Yeah. I know. I'm giving flavors. I'm definitely with you. I'm just saying, like, it's hard to go one-on-one period with anybody, and that's why I'm giving credit to Patrick Surtain. But it's also credit because he's done it to a lot of people. Period, regardless. Yeah. So it's different when you got that type of dude going at you one-on-one. And honestly, it's on film. You're gonna see on film now, like, dang, for the opposing defenses, they're gonna be like, damn, he made Patrick Surtain work. We can't with our corner play, we can't go one-on-one with him. Like, that's automatic, because if you're studying film and you know you went against the best cornerback in the NFL, and then you made that dude work. I'm not gonna say who came out winning this. He made that dude work. You know what I mean?
He did.
You're like, now you're going against the Minnesota Vikings. They're gonna be like, yo, we can't go one-on-one with him and blitz crazy like that. If we don't get free, like, they now have that opportunity to go over the top against us. That's what's now free. That was never free before. Like, understand, that was never free before Terry got back. That wasn't a free thing. Like, you can't say, hey, so-and-so, go deep. I like Treylon Burks, but you couldn't say Treylon Burks, hey, you can go against the number one wide cornerback and do work. Nah. Now it's like, all right, it go back to, we're going to double Terry, because this is what it's going on. We're going to double Terry, because now Terry going to get that respect now. He's going to get, from what you watched in game one, he's going to get that respect. Terry's going to get the double team respect now. That's what's going to happen. So now it's going to be up to, but again, when you double team somebody, you can't double team somebody and blitz. Somebody's going to get one-on-one coverage, easy work. So now there's going to be up to, like, say the Treylon Burks. You see, I ain't mentioned Noah Brown. I know he's going to play, but I ain't mentioned him. Treylon Burks and Deebo Samuels. It's going to be their opportunity to get work. We can talk about this. All right, so the Commanders have all their weapons back now. Like, you know, a lot of people are hyped for it. We saw the one-handed catch by Treylon Burks against the Denver Broncos. Fantastic catch. We got Deebo Samuels, always still making plays. Terry McLaurin, obviously. Now we hear to get the word that Noah Brown is coming back. Like, how important is to have all these pieces for tomorrow to see what this offense is supposed to look like?
I'll go with this. Noah Brown is a piece, and he is a situational guy. Mm-hmm. He's not a guy that I think is dependable every down. Mm-hmm. He is a situational guy, and in those situations, a lot of third down situations, a lot of times where they kind of lulled the defense to sleep, and then all of a sudden you kind of see Noah Brown all of a sudden just leaks out the back, and he's standing out there all alone by himself. You know, we have the tendency with him to be able to lull people to sleep with Noah Brown, but I think it's a huge deal to not only have Trey Burks playing what he's doing and doing it well, and having that threat within the red zone. Now having Noah Brown back, I think, adds a complete package that kind of helps you be able to get a little bit more creative and do some things differently that you haven't been able to do all season prior to this, because you just didn't have the horses to be able to trust to do those things.
Hey, DC Slim, I appreciate you. He said, we lost, but we are not lost after 7 games lost. We look, man, we lost. I mean, we not going to the playoffs. I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. Playoffs ain't anything I care about, or being great at this point in time where the season's at. Man, all I'm about is the draft pick. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, I ain't gonna be here be that person to lie to y'all. I'm here about that draft pick. We had a situation this season. All I care about is individual growth. Like, I don't care about. I don't care about team growth in terms of, like, winning games. I care about individual. So I want to see, like, for instance, I want to see Jayden look really good these last semi games. If he's gonna play, I want to see Jayden look good these last semi games. Absolutely. I want to see Treylon Burks look great in these last semi games. That's who I care. I care about players that I feel like will be back next season. I want to see McGee look good. I want to see McGee, see if he gets some improvement. I want to see Newton. I want to see Newton and see if he could turn up. I want to see all these dudes, these young dudes, and even like Deron Payne. I want to see if he's going to finish this season out strong to a point where they're like, all right, we're not going to void this contract. We're going to keep this guy on the team. There's so many things I care about rather than, like, our wins and losses. I care about individual play at this point in time. So that's where I'm at. That's where
we definitely need to see what you have with this team. Because there's decisions that have to be made in the offseason of who stays and who goes and who, as our GM looks around the league, who is available in free agency and where can we or where do we need to focus within the draft? At what position do we need to hone in on? All those things are going to be a big factor. And I agree with you. I think it's all about individual play. I do want to see those individuals when they are out there, as far as young guys playing within this defense. I do want to see the unit play well and they play within the confines of what they're being asked to do. But yeah, I do want to see individuals step up, make plays, and say, "Hey, I should be here. I should be a commander, and I should be a commander for a long time."
Oh, Burgundy and Gold. I mentioned Jonathan Allen, but you want me to repeat him again? I mentioned him. I mentioned Jonathan Allen. Like he's on. I said it. Like that matchup in the trenches, with, say, I guess he would be going against Paul or whatnot. Paul and Biotish, or maybe they move him around. Maybe he's going against Cosme and the rookie. Cosme and Biotish. So I think that eventually, I think that's an intriguing matchup. But again, to me, it's the Vikings defense as a whole. We know what Jonathan Allen has to bring to the table. I think I said this before. I thought he had I thought he got negative flack here because as we can see, and I said this before, as we can see, the defense stopping the run has still been an issue. So Jonathan Allen being blamed about not stopping a run or whatever, that ain't on Jonathan Allen. So like I feel like there's always a scapegoat. And I said this because anybody who knows me, I've been pro Jonathan Allen. He was a scapegoat. It is what it is. So I mean, if you want me to go there, go that. If you want me to go there with Jonathan Allen, I'll go there with Jonathan Allen. But yeah, I just pretty much, it is what it is. We got a different defensive line, and he's on a different defensive line in Minnesota. So I wish him the best. Not against Washington, of course, but I wish him the best. Paul said he's talking about Noah Brown. He'll be the fourth option, bro. Let's be real. Like I want him to be the fourth option. Probably not going to be the fourth option. It's probably going to take Treylon Burks to burn. I'm going to be real with you, which sucks, which absolutely sucks, because I mean I'm about to preach on this. Like and Dujunnea, you're right. You're totally right, bro, about everything you said about having the weapons back for Jayden. I think it's very important. It's what you went with in training camp. So it's important. But I will say this, man. This Noah Brown infatuation with folks who kind of keep putting him out there like people care that he's gonna be on this team or play. I don't care about, like, look, man, Noah Brown ain't scaring nobody. I'm sorry. All right. And it ain't nothing. Like I saw enough from Treylon Burks enough to say like I want him to play over Noah Brown. Because at the end of the day, like I mentioned, Treylon Burks has a great opportunity to be on this roster next season. Noah Brown ain't going to be on this roster next season. If he is, that's a travesty. Let me keep it. It's a travesty. If he's on this roster, it's a travesty. If you're worried about signing Noah Brown next season, it's a problem. Noah Brown should not, to Paul's point, Noah Brown should not be getting more burn than Treylon Burks. I want to see more Treylon Burks than I want to see Noah Brown.
Yeah.
Playing Noah Brown brings nothing to the table at this point in time. To me. I'm sorry. To me.
I felt like the Titans made a mistake with him too. Because I had written an article, I believe it was this year, about Burks in the offseason. And the work that he was putting in this offseason, he really looked good and really looked like he was going to have a breakout season. And then all of a sudden they let him go. I think it's a big mistake. I think the guy has a lot of upside. And with given the opportunity, I think he's in a position now. Dan Quinn does a really good job of getting the most out of guys that, maybe with others have underachieved. And I really think given the time and given more opportunities, I think you're just going to see him blossom. I mean, he's young. He's everything you need. Young, tall, physical.
Yeah, they don't got that on this team.
We don't have none of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He proved that with that catch in the end zone. Because even I was like, damn, Trey, I see you.
I see you. Like, I don't want him.
That's with a broken digit too, by the way.
Yeah, like I don't want him. Look, man, I want to see Jalen Lane. I want to see Treylon Burks. I want to see Terry McLaurin. If you're going to be out there, I want to see Terry McLaurin.
Yep.
And I want to see Debo. Like, I want them. That's why I don't need to see Noah Brown.
No.
I'm sure he's a nice guy, man. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm sure he's a totally nice guy, man. I'm sure he's good for the locker room. People cheer him on. I'm sure he was messed up that he didn't get to play. Look, man, I understand it. I feel it. I'm with you, bro. I know you were frustrated. You thought it was going to be your time to shine, your claim to fame. You're going to show everybody that you can play a whole season. You just – look, man, it ain't work for you. It just didn't work for you here. It didn't work for you. It's fine. Like, it is what it is. They do. Sometimes other dudes step up. Man, I'm not going to put a dude who made that type of one-handed catch and not give him time, give him his chance to shine. Like, I was mad. Like, I seen Paul say it a number of times. I was mad that he didn't get more burn or more targets after that catch. You know what I'm saying? Like on Sunday night. So I don't need to see Noah Brown. He was good. It was cool. It was great. Kumbaya. All blessings to you, bro. Like, get a couple. Look, if you want a catch, get a catch. I don't even, bro. That's it. But I am not going where I'm at. I'm not on the table of saying, yo, these last remaining games, 5 games, I believe. These 5 remaining games, I believe. Yeah. Like, I do not need you getting burned away from a guy who's younger and has the ability to maybe be an impact player on this team. If, like you said, if cultivated correctly.
Yep. That's
the
key.
What I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's
key.
You know, coming out. Who said like, nah, I'm talking about Burks. I wanted Burks or Olave. Oh, was it Olave coming out? Let me say Olave. Yeah, coming out. I mean, Olave's like that. I wanted Olave. I like Olave more. It's crazy. I'm like, which I was wrong. I like Olave more than I like Garrett Wilson. Olave used to kill Michigan. So I was always like, damn, Olave like that. But Garrett Wilson is kind of like, I know, I get it now. But Olave is like that. He just concussions be getting him. But yeah, like that's what I want. Sorry. Yes, spell Burks, Noah, and get looks. Burks gets burned. Yeah, that's what I want. I think Burks deserves to burn Noah because I ain't gonna lie. Every time I see, and I love a lot of these reporters, man. But every time I see some of these reporters mention Noah Brown, I cringe. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm be like, why I keep talking about Noah Brown? Like I'm like,
he had one standout catch on a Hail Mary.
Man, a Hail Mary, bro. I mean, can we get over the Hail Mary? I'm not gonna lie, it was fluke. All right, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was fluke. All right, got tipped.
I don't know, man. I don't know because
did he die for it?
No, he didn't die for it. But this all about positioning.
Yeah.
And he played it correctly. They said they worked on it that way, and they were all working on there to kind of push it up.
Yeah,
and he was supposed to stand back there and cradle it, and he did it.
Dude, you so nice, man. Dude, you so nice, man. Look, all I'm saying is like. Chicago had to mess that play up for it to work. If dude just batted the ball there, that's all I'm saying. Like, but everybody, man, it was biblical. It's a biblical moment.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. It was a Hail Mary. It was Hail Mary, and the dude happened. The dude's name is Noah. God wanted it to happen. You know what I mean? I keep saying that God wanted it to happen. That's all I'm saying.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? No, I won't say it's fluke. I'm gonna go with it was biblical. That's what I call it. Biblical. It was a biblical Hail Mary. That's why I call it. That's why I call that.
I like that.
I won't call it luck because there was a lot of religious ties to that Hail Mary. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, the dude's name is Noah. All right, let's keep the being. His name is Noah. That's all I'm saying. All right. So the Commanders are playing against the Vikings offense. They'll probably start my Michigan quarterback, who I do love. I love JJ. It's cool. I do
too.
JJ struggled. He struggled. I'm not gonna lie. But they're playing. But JJ has turned the ball over a lot. It's better. I wish the other quarterback was playing. He was terrible. The other quarterback last week.
Oh my goodness.
Sheesh. Like I would have took the command. If I had fantasy football, I still would take the Commanders defense because this Vikings offense just turned the football over.
It's bad.
Do you feel like the Commanders defense can force some turnovers away from a struggling Vikings offense? And which defense and which defenders do you think will probably make the biggest impact in this game on Sunday?
So here you go, guys. Here's some statistics. Vikings offense, 30th. Our defense, 32. They haven't played like a 32 ranked defense in pass efficiency in the last 2 games. Okay. 22 rush, we're 23 in rush defense, evenly matched. There's no advantage there. 17 on passer rate. They're 25th on passer rate. So we have an advantage there. I'll tell you right up from the rip, it's all going to depend on that front seven. And I'm looking at guys like, I want to see guys like Bobby Wagner doing what he's supposed to do. I want to see Frankie Louvu getting some run here.
He played okay.
He played pretty good
this Sunday. He did.
But I want to see those guys get after it and do what they need to do defensively. And they play what they have been doing so well is playing very sound, contain, and they're not giving up too many lanes for guys to just run wide open through. They've done a pretty good job in that. Bobby Wagner has done a pretty good job, and he's really been doing a good job all season long as far as just being a short tackler against the run. It's just the pass game where he's not really, that's not his forte.
Right now,
that's not his forte.
Right now, it's not. It's not right now.
And it should be recognized as that, at least this year, that it's not his deal. So keep him out of those situations and don't put him in situations that's going to make him look bad. You know what I mean? I think Mikey Sanders still and those guys playing out on the outside has done an excellent job of just being out there, and he is just playing dog mentality like football out there. I love Jeremy Reeves and what he's bringing to the table with that, and I want to see Martin up front. Guys really been just a nasty, just pushing people out the way and just aggressively trying to get to the football. I do need him to be a little bit more controlled in some areas, to be available to kind of slow that run down sometimes. But, man, I really like what a lot of these young guys that have come out here and stepped into place and did. I thought Payne played a nasty game as well. It looked like he was a little bit pissed off about being suspended for something that he didn't start. So I'm looking at those guys to just come in and be aggressive. And I liked some of the things I saw from Will Harris. Yeah. Like some of the things I saw from Will Harris. There are some things that we saw during that time that are things that I thought that he could work on that are a little deficient in that area. But I really like those things. And I think looking at the Vikings offense, JJ just needs more time. Like you got to remember, this kid lost an entire season. Then he comes in this season, and it's basically his rookie season, and then he gets hurt again. So now you're stunting that development. So he's still developing. I think, everybody's like, well, looking at everybody like, oh, I guess he's not the quarterback whisperer anymore. No, the kid just hasn't had the reps. He hasn't had the ability and the time to be out there and to really have time to develop because he's been hurt the whole time. And I do think, though, this is an advantage for Washington because this isn't a game that I think favors an offense that has struggled pretty much all season long and trying to move the football, pass or run. They're not very good running the football at all. And that is something that I think is going to be a huge, huge detriment for this football team in the Vikings. But, it's really about just playing a sound game and being disruptive up front because JJ's going to throw you a couple. And he's going to make some decisions that he's just right now, he's still learning. And I think you can take advantage of that. Justin Jefferson has suffered because of it, but at the same time, you can't sleep on Justin Jefferson because at the end of the day, if I'm JJ, if I got a 50-50 ball, I'm going to trust that my guy on a 50-50 ball is going to come down with it. And so you can't sleep on him. Jordan Addison has had flashes this year, hasn't been super consistent across the board. And I think that has a little bit to do with offense not being able to run the football. And they are really a pass-heavy team. I think it's like 60%, 64% pass, 30-something% run. So this plays into a Dan Quinn coach defense. They play downhill, in the last 2 games, I thought they played a hell of a ball game against a guy, Sean Payton, that can scheme up some stuff that could have been a blowout. And I thought Bo Nix, I don't think he's as great as a lot of people make him out to be, but he's damn sure a guy who will carve you up if you give him the opportunity. And I thought they played excellent football against a playoff caliber team. So this is not a playoff caliber team. They're 4-8 for a reason. Their consistency offensively is just not there. And this is a time where I think if they want to try to make a statement game to carry over to next week's game, this is the one you do it in. And I think it's very, very possible that we could see a pretty big dominant performance from this defense, given the limitations that this offense has.
A comment from man Santiago. Santiago says, should the coaches be concerned if the losing continues? Your thoughts, Dujunnea?
No, because I'm looking at how you lose. And I know people are like, a loss is a loss, but no. How do you lose? Last week came down to – it did not come down to one play. There were several instances where they could just look at the field goals you didn't make. There's conversions that didn't get made that could have ended up into points. They were in that game the entire game, and the defense kept them in that game. You're going against a playoff caliber football team, and you're going to have some times where they're going to win. They get paid the big bucks too. So I thought in Madrid the same thing. Defense played a hell of a ball game and played well enough to win. Inconsistencies on offense, didn't allow them to be able to secure that victory. So I'm looking at all things when it comes down to a loss. Situational football, how you handle 2 minute. How does the defense handle 2 minute? And we have to agree on something that they struggle in certain instances when it's a must-have. I need a must-have stop on a 2 minute. They can't seem to pull that off. But I tell you what, though, the problem is I don't like guys playing 10 yards off the ball.
Yeah.
And every time against a good quarterback, you're playing 10 yards off of the ball, you're automatically giving them first down because the corner is already in fleet mode as it is because he can't be flat-footed, right? Because if he does go over the top, then I'm flat-footed and I get beat. But they're already retreating 5 more yards. So now you're giving them that cushion to go right to the first down. And now you got to come in reverse motion and come downhill to the ball. By the time you get there, the man makes a catch. Sure, you might take him down right there, but that's 10 yards and a first down. So I'd like to see a little bit more tighter coverage, maybe 5 yards off. I think they play well on man-to-man. I'd rather get beat playing what I do best than stop and playing zone and trying to do the trickery thing. It just doesn't always work out. And guys march the ball down the field because at the end of the day, it's about field position, right? And if you can stop them earlier and get your offense a shorter field, then you do that. But if you're playing retreat ball and then you want to tighten up when you get inside the 30 and in the red zone, it's too little too late. It's great, but you give 3 points. You know what I mean? And when you get up 0, if you're playing 5 yards to a tight man-to-man defense, you likely will have more success. And I think that's where Washington's corners play best. Not that stuff they've been playing over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm changing my mic. All right, so yeah, I agree. I think that and I had this question. But first, before I get there, there's a question, my man, Burgundy and Go for Life. To any comment Savage from the Savage departure.
I don't have a problem with it. It's numbers game, right? And they feel like they have some other players ahead of them that have been playing well, and he just can't see the field right now. They got other people they're looking at. And sometimes you have a overload in an area. And if a guy feels like he wants to play, and it's really that all it comes down to. He just wants to play and give that man an opportunity to play. So I don't – and then I think he went to Minnesota too.
He went to Minnesota. Oh, did he? Okay, I didn't know where he got signed from. All right, he went to Minnesota?
I think he did. And I'm not taking anything away from that either. Like, people make a big deal about that. But, man, like, he wasn't no disrespect, but he wasn't making the field here. So you couldn't beat out the guys in front of you here. So I mean, might have a better chance. They ain't that great over there.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Good position for him, and I think he'll get some playing time over there because they're struggling that corner too. Maybe I hope he makes a name for himself. But again, he couldn't beat up the guys here. So, but there's a laundry list of guys, so it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, they got Will Harris back. So I mean, you mentioned Will Harris. It's crazy. I'm still like, to me, the jury's still out on Will Harris. Because I saw the same thing I saw with other. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt because he's coming back. He's just coming back, but he gave up a play. I think Mikey, he didn't pick up on his own. Mikey carried on with his guy, and he left that dude wide open. It was the same thing. So I don't really with Will Harris. It's like it's the same thing I saw with other safeties. You know what I mean? But again, he's just getting back in the swing of things. So I'm gonna give him some grace because I'm not. My expectations with him isn't as high as like others. I don't look at him like I look at him as just like another player, like a solid player, right? But that's another player. But we'll see with him. Like I think the best indication of what he's going to do is going to be against Minnesota. And even that though, right? We're going against a struggling passing offense right now. But we'll see. Paul got a question for you, Dujunnea. He said, do you think we have a coach on this staff that can elevate JD5 to his best?
I honestly, outside of Cliff Kingsbury, I don't think that exists on this staff.
And you think Cliff Kingsbury can get him to his best? Do you think Cliff can get him to his best?
I think there's limitations with Cliff.
I agree.
I have to be honest. I mean, there are some times, man, this dude is in his bag, and you're like, God dang, Cliff, you just killing him out here today. Yeah. And then you have games that you're like, none of this is making sense. And why all of a sudden we had success, and then all of a sudden you go to this wild nonsense where we throw in wide receiver screens and bubble screens. Where the hell did that come from? We were running the football just fine and getting 5 and 6 yards a pop and hitting them over the middle with Zach Ertz and getting a little play from Deebo Samuels. Like, where did that come from? Those things bother me, and I think you have to be honest. And Cliff has limitations.
My man DC Slim's question says, can you have confidence in a team that lost games in a row and gave up 300 in all of them? Can you have confidence? 300 yards, I guess he's talking about the defense.
I have to be honest with you. I don't think you could come out as a fan and say, we're gonna stop y'all. Yeah, we're gonna shut y'all down. Nah, they are a team that is a bend but don't break type of defense. They will bend all the way down until they get inside the red zone, and then all of a sudden they're like, we're in the red zone, but you know what? We're not going to let your ass score. Yeah. You can take these 3, though, but we're not going to give you 7. Yeah. That's what you end up having. And when you get – at times when they get those types of touchdowns, they give touchdowns, a lot of times it comes from something that was an explosive play. And now when you get an explosive play, what do defenses usually do when they've been hit once, then twice by a big one? They get a little rattled. They're kind of back on their heels a little bit, and then they end up getting into the end zone. So I think when you see this defense playing tight football, but yet the ball is moving in increments, and they're kind of matriculating the ball down the field, and then they get in the red zone, they tighten up. So I'll say this is a bend but don't break defense. But you can't have confidence in a bend but don't break defense because it doesn't always correlate to that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It always hold up. That's a fact. It always hold up. Nah, I get what you're saying, DC Slim, man. I get what you're saying. I'm never a big fan of bend but don't break defense. I ain't gonna hold you.
No, I'm not a fan of that.
But I can also be on the flip side and say this though. I think it's way better than what they were doing before. Because it was breaking all the time. It was breaking all the time. It ain't matter who they was playing. It was breaking all the time.
And if your offense hits 7, and hitting 3,
you got a better chance.
7, you got a chance to win the ball game. They at least giving you a chance. Yeah, they weren't giving this team a chance to even smell a victory when you giving up 7 on every daggone possession. Like
exactly. But I'm with you there. I don't have, to answer your question, I don't have faith in bend but don't break defenses. No. It's actually one of my least favorite defenses.
Greg Williams had a defense like that at one time. It was because of personnel.
Because personnel.
He had a defense like that. And, it works, but it also, at times, you're like, okay, but we stop them here and it looks good, and then all of a sudden, bang, 7, and then now you're behind. If your offense is having a struggling day, they cannot help you. Don't call on them to help you. They cannot help you.
Agree. My man Todd says Cliff is good at what he does, which is scheme, but him developing players or being patient isn't his strength. If you want a developer, you need a McVay type or O'Connell.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Yeah.
What we have here? Questions. We have Todd says, what are your 4 things you are evaluating for the rest of the season? Go ahead, Dujunnea. What are 4 things you're evaluating for this rest of the season?
First of all is how individual players how do they comprehend their assignment given. Guys on the line, I want to see control pass rush, and I don't want to see you getting out of position and keep it contained. You guys saw it last week with the Denver Broncos. They do a great job of keeping it contained, but they also, like I said during that, you run downhill at them. It's a different ball game because those guys like to come up field and be disruptive, but they do keep contained well. I want to see guys play their positions the way they're supposed to be. I want to see the offensive line, especially on the right-hand side. I want to see continual growth in that area. He's playing, Connerly is playing some of the best that are out there.
He's turning up right now.
Yeah, and he's doing an excellent job. So a lot of people weren't okay with that pick.
I was one of them.
And I understand that.
I was one of them.
I understand that and respect that. So you have to see growth out of that guy, especially going down the stretch, because you want to have confidence that you can rely on him next season to protect that front side for Jayden Daniels. I want to see growth in Bill. I want to see Bill grow into a back that is not just trying to be elusive. Make the right read and just put your foot in the ground and hit the hole. Let's not try to be pretty with it. And when he does that, you see him get to the second level a lot of times. When he's doing the decision, trying to guess and doing the jumping around, he doesn't do so well. It gets bottled up. So I want to see the progression in him so that he can add to the 2 backs I think we have here in Chris Rodriguez and McNichols to add to this thing and have a 3-headed monster back there. So that's some of the things that I'm looking for. And I also want to see continued development in Jalen Lane. He's got to catch more footballs, and he cannot put the ball on the carpet, especially in special teams play. Those are daggers, man. When you drop a football or when you fumble a football on special teams, that is one of the worst momentum shifters ever in football. It can take a game that was in hand and turn it upside down just like that.
I was gonna ask you. So you mentioned the running back. I know I'm going back in the past. Do you think Washington made the right decision on letting trading away B-Rob? The way it's going now, the way they're using their run game?
I do not.
Okay.
Because I wasn't a B-Rob hater. There's certain things I didn't like about B-Rob. But guess what, guys? We're seeing the same things from at least 2 out of the 3. It's really B-Rob was like this. So you run B-Rob, he get 2. You run B-Rob again, he get 2. Then you run B-Rob again, and then all of a sudden, boom, 15, 20.
Yeah.
We're doing the same thing now. We're doing the same thing now. You just gotta. B-Rob was a volume guy. You can't just put him in spot and then pull him out and put him in. He doesn't work that way. He was a volume guy, and you see it in San Francisco. I don't think he's having success over there because he's not getting the ball in volume. You got McCaffrey. Exactly. So it's difficult to do that. And you see that with the guys we have now.
Yeah.
Look at Chris Rodriguez is probably the only one that can come off the bench and go from a 2-yard carry and instantly give you a 10-yard carry out of the gate. The other 2 are volume carriers, and Bill is especially. He gets better as he's had the ball.
It looks like that, right? It seems like that.
when you use him sparingly, he's not nearly as effective. When you give him volume, you start seeing him break off runs from the outside. You see him all of a sudden hit something up the middle, bounce it outside, and the next thing you know, this dude's got 15, 20 yards.
Yeah.
I think that move was kind of a lateral move.
Yeah, I think it's lateral. I think it's real lateral. Yeah.
I would have kept B-Rob over Chris Rodriguez or Big Nichols are expendable because they're the same guy. So you just make a choice.
I like
disrespect.
Yeah, no, I mean I like all of them. I do like all of them. I think there's a way to use all four of them, to be honest with you. It is with the way it worked. To your point, if you're my thing, it would have been a good trade if they utilized all the weapons like the way they need to work. Utilize the weapons. They just didn't. Todd says, "What makes the B-Rob trade look bad now is because the team is not using any of their replacements to their best of ability." I agree with that. I agree with that. Burgundy for life. Burgundy and Gold for life, excuse me, said if Eckler was here, it would have been different. I agree with that too. B-Rob has had success as a Niner, but not enough to miss. Yeah, he's been well. But again, when you're playing, this is the thing: there's different levels to this, right? You're playing Christian. You were McCaffrey. You're not supposed to get that many carries. Be real with you. He's not supposed to have that hurt. Yeah, he gotta be hurt for B-Rob to really have an impact. He's played well as a backup, but he's not gonna get any type of carries compared to what he was gonna get here. No. I mean, good God. It's not even a situation where it's Montgomery and Montgomery and Gibbs, right? Because they've always had that thunder lightning situation. So Montgomery's gonna get his carries. But even that though, right? You're not gonna get a lot of Montgomery because Gibbs is so good. You're not gonna get as much as Montgomery as you could get because Gibbs is so good. So it kind of goes in that route. But yeah, I think B-Rob, to your point, I mean, I think the way he's been used, the way the running back situation has been used, makes it difficult. Like makes it easy to say, yeah, the trade ain't really pan out the way we thought it was gonna pan out, right? But that's only because of usage. I believe with you. I agree with you. But they said that the reason why they let him go because they like that running back room. So it gives you the thought process that you're going to showcase all the backs in the room. So see, look, Shanahan's scheme makes an average back good and great, a great back, a Hall of Famer. I mean, I get what you're saying, but in here he averaged over 4 yards a carry. If you average 4 yards a carry as a running back, that's good. That means that's better than average. As you look at what's average in the NFL, a 4 yard per carry running back is above average in the NFL. That's above average. So he was above average here. And people didn't like him a lot. And I get it because people like the flashy running back. So I get that. When you see Jahmyr Gibbs, when you see, and not to say he's blitzing, I'm not saying what's his face? I'm not saying that Bill that he's better than Bill and vice versa. But when you see a guy who runs like Bill, you automatically go to you automatically have the idea like, oh, he's way better than Bill's way better than this dude. He's gonna kill, blah blah. Not thinking that you're talking about a young dude that is coming from the NFL after not really playing football last year. You know what I mean? So that makes it difficult. But not knowing that there are little like traits that make you make you an elite running back, a good running back, or average, or you can say average running back, to be honest with you. So there's traits that you got to have in this league to make sure you are one of them. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing. Like I get where folks are with like B-Rob, Bill, whatever, all that situation. But I'm saying that just trading him away, I'm just looking at it right now. I'm just asking that question. I'm not saying who's better or whatever. I'm just saying like how is it now compared to what we thought it was going to be? We thought because everybody thought it'd be a whole different situation that folks had like, oh man, Bill going to be the truth, or like I like C-Rod a lot. So I'm gonna be real. I like Chris Rodriguez a lot. Me too. Like I've been complaining. I think he should have burned with B-Rob here, whoever was here. Like I thought, even when Bill was doing this thing, I thought Rodriguez should get his shine. And you see, he's kind of doing it now. Like I feel like if you've given this kid the opportunity, he could have been like he would have probably led this team in rushing. To be real with you, like Chris Rodriguez would be the person that led this team in rushing, and they didn't because he sees. Because actually, real talk, And people you may not like the speed he has, but his vision is better than all the running backs in that backfield. Like
that's why he was breaking off the runs.
Yeah, his vision is better.
Mm-hmm.
It's just better. You see it. His vision is 10 times better than anybody else in the backfield. He's not as explosive as like Bill, but his vision is better than Bill. Like what he sees the hole and he takes advantage of that hole. Did B-Rob have a game like Bill did versus the Chargers? B-Rob had a couple big games. I think you should go back to that Eagles game.
Yeah.
Go back to that Eagles game on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Go back to that. When he carried the whole team. When he was the one he carried that team. Yeah. Go back to that game. I think people have like amnesia. Like they kind of forget like certain games. Yeah, like the game. Thank you. Yeah, basically said it right there. Like I compare his game. I
say the same thing about Eckler too, man. Like Eckler in the first half before he was lighting it up.
I agree. I agree.
They were able to use him the way he was being used in LA a lot, and he looked a lot more sprice and out there making plays in the passing game. I thought he was, one thing that people like, that's one thing that fans like always overlook. But man, that third down back pickup, Eckler was doing that.
Yeah,
Eckler was doing that, and that it means a lot. It means a lot when you are talking about sometimes your offensive line and you're dealing with a young right tackle. It helps a lot.
Yeah.
Look, man, I don't want to hear no more talk. I don't want to hear no more Alabama fans talking about nothing. All right. All that nonsense. Y'all forgot that this defense was stepping their game up over these last couple of weeks, and we dogging y'all right now. Love it. Love it. I'm sorry I had to get that in.
Oh, you did. I see. I feel you. I was like, where's he going with this? Hold on. He said, who's responsible for all the inconsistency on this team? Who's responsible for
Cliff?
It?
He's the guy running the offense.
I think he's saying the whole team. I think he's saying the team, in general.
Okay. Oh man.
I mean, it's gotta be Dan Quinn. He's the head coach.
Yeah, it starts at the top.
Yeah.
It's the same thing I said last week. Yeah. When you are willing to allow guys to figure it out.
You just mad, Paul. You mad. You know it ain't that much better. Go ahead, bro. You thought Bill was gonna be like 1,000-yard running by now, bro. Don't do that. Nope. Don't
when you sit up here and you try to you try to let people figure it out, that he's a very, very likable guy, respectful guy. But you got to be a butthole sometimes. Yeah. And think about it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to stick to it till I'm blue in the face. If they make this decision after week 4 or 5, I think this team is able to have more wins in the win column than they would have doing what they're doing, up to this point.
You mean benching, getting rid of Witt, right?
Joe Witt, putting him on the back burner. I think they have more wins because earlier in this season, they were still putting up points.
Yeah. They were
just that they were getting outscored because their defense had a bad case of explosive diarrhea. So that stuff gets you fired. Like I said last week, that type of stuff gets you fired.
Go ahead.
You got to make those calls and make those changes quicker because there's an expectation now. Last year left an expectation. So for fans to be a little bit upset, and sometimes some of them really upset, I get it because this is not what we saw. And you added these pieces. Now, granted, people got injured, but I don't like to use that as a complete crutch. We see too many teams that are still playing respectable football and competing, and they have lost key players. It's all come down to coaching, and I said it earlier in the year. It's coaching, and it starts at the top, though, and that's where the fault should lie.
It should always start at the top. When if your teammate consistent, it's on you, and you always gotta make. This is the thing, regardless of what people think, in his chat. I know my man DC still want Dan Quinn out of here, and I got love for him, but this is what I do agree with him. Like it does start, it starts from the top. But it's your responsibility. If you knew that Joe Witt was trash, or not say trash, that's harsh, but you know what I mean. If he wasn't doing his job, then it's your responsibility to say, bruh, you ain't calling plays anymore. Let me call them. That's your responsibility as a coach. If, like I heard the meeting, like we want to be more balanced on offense. If you could have, like, dude, you should have went to Cliff. There's obviously he had a conversation with Cliff during the bye. Like, bro, we need to run the ball more. Because that team was way more balanced running the ball against the Denver Broncos than we've seen all season long with lesser defenses. And I know after the bye, he was like, Cliff, hey, we need to run the football, bro. Like, we need to run more. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure, and I'm positive the way it looked like to me that I'm doing this from the outside. Like, if it was up to Cliff and to what Paul is talking about, if it was up to Cliff, Bill would be getting more carries.
Yeah.
If it was up to Cliff, Bill would be getting more carries.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Dan saw, like, yo, C-Rod, there's a reason why C-Rod was named a team leader, like a captain.
Yeah.
Like, Dan was probably like, nah, this dude need to play. Like, this dude, every time he come out, he need to play. Like, he needs to play. You could tell.
Bill has vision issues that he needs to. He's learning to do. And we saw that when he was featured. He's great. He's great when you bring him in to spell a guy.
Yes, agreed.
That's where he excels.
Yeah.
Starting though, it's sloppy, and I think that's why you're not seeing him out there. But you're right. I think if it was left up to Cliff, he'd be out there.
Yeah, Bill would be out there if it was up to Cliff. I know. Like, he's the type of back he likes. He wants a faster back. He wants he wants speed out there.
Yeah,
that's his spread. That's where he wants that. He wants that type of running back. That's a fact. Like, I could tell, but you could tell that it's the argument. Like, everybody asks why C-Rod ain't out there. We've seen, like, when he's out there, he's the most productive back. He is the most productive back. All right, so let's go back to this game though. For you, Dujunnea, before we end this show and end the stream, what are your keys for Commanders' victory over the Minnesota Vikings?
Going what you did last week on offense. That's a sound running the football, and I think the quick passing game is going to open up your deep ball. It was effective against a quick defense in the Denver Broncos. I see it being effective against a defense that loves to blitz, but they're nowhere near on the Denver Broncos level. So let's just be clear. And that's going to help your young quarterback out who's coming back off an injury and needs to get into rhythm early. Defensively, it's to continue to do what you've been doing, but it needs to be against this football team. There needs to be a complete run shutdown. They're not good. Okay. They're not at all. So I don't want to see them getting 4, 5, 6 yards a pop and working y'all. It needs to be a complete shutdown. And you're going against a guy in JJ McCarthy that is still learning. Yeah. And quite frankly, he's still a rookie. But don't be playing zones acting like you're going to confuse this kid either. He ain't that guy. He ain't the guy that started last week, okay? So zones are not going to confuse this kid. Play up front, let your defense hunt, and go get the quarterback, shut down the run. And I think this game is easily winnable. And I think you could have your first manhandle of the year if you do this right. Because I don't think they're not that great in the red zone either. So even if you have a bend but don't break, but I think this is a game where they could get a lot of confidence from and really take it to them, because this offense is not good at all. I don't know if y'all been watching the Vikings over this year, but I'm telling you, bro, this offense, I don't care who's that quarterback. Oh, well, actually, they look better with Carson Wentz.
Okay? They kind of did. They kind of did.
Outside of that, they have not looked good. And it's no knock on JJ. JJ needs time to develop, but he ain't there yet, and he is still trying to develop. Go get that man and embarrass them.
I mean, I will say this too. Like, we also got to be careful. This the same team they beat the Detroit Lions, the team that mollywopped us. And also this is with JJ, and they beat the Bears that beat us as well. Yes. So we got to be careful of how we assess what teams we play against. That
Don't be disrespectful.
Yeah,
but you gotta hunt them. Don't sit back and do that stuff you were doing last week. I'll give you a little bit because hey, Bo Nix can carve you up. So I'll give you a little bit on that.
I mean, Sean Payton carved you up. That's how I look at it. Sean Payton can carve you up.
This ain't that.
Yeah.
Okay. No disrespect to Kevin O'Connell, but this ain't that.
Yeah.
You got to go man up, man for man, and see who harvesting the biggest nuts. That's what I'm saying. I'm
with you. My man Todd says, I will be honest, we lose this game, even even those losses shouldn't matter at this point. But if we look bad, yeah, serious talk about DQ being fired should be had. You agree? Because I'm like,
I can't say that right now, man.
Okay.
Like, you gotta look. Last year they hit on something and they tried to run it back. Let's be honest. They tried to run it back and they added a few pieces, and those pieces got hurt. The rotation got hurt. So once the rotation got hurt, and I Terry with the holdout, that changed things as well, because I do believe that had something to do with him getting injured. Although I will tell you, well, yeah, it had something to do with him getting injured, because I think if he's there all season, he made a huge play on that. And if he was in football shape, you don't hurt your quad like that.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so there are a lot of factors that go into it. I do believe that there needs to be more time. I think we did it was a lot of great things that went the Washington Commanders' way last year. You know what I mean? A lot of great things, a lot of things that the ball was rolling their direction. And this year it complete. You got a pandemic of injuries, and you hadn't been able to shake it. So, it needs more time. Now, if they come out here next year and it looked like this, then there's some discussion that needs to be had, because you've got a young quarterback on a rookie deal still, but I think they'll pay him within year 3. Yeah. And you've got some young players here that have promise, and you've got to maximize Terry's upcoming years as he's getting older. There does have to be a conversation had after that. But I think given the situation, I think there are some factors where Dan Quinn's going to learn from this, and letting a guy go too long is really what I think is what hurt this football team the most.
This is all I'm saying, is that realistically speaking, I'm just a realist. I'm not in the make-believe life. It would have to go to totally left. And I mean, when I mean left, like to everybody else is talking about, like, and I'm even that's like a stretch to me. For Dan Quinn to get fired. It's got
so,
and then like
to Paul's comment.
What Paul right here?
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to Atlanta.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl was on Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
Got too cute. And
everybody know that was on Kyle. That was on Kyle.
Then
everybody know that.
The general manager did not invest in continuing to bring in talented people. And they got rid of folks. They were slimmer on the talent side, and that ball rolled in the wrong direction because of it. That it was nothing Dan could have done. It was offensively. They didn't try to improve there, and they didn't try to improve on defense to help themselves. And the GM was a huge problem with Dan Quinn in Atlanta, because I think he would have had more success with competence. And we see what type of competence is there in Atlanta, and they're still having that issue now. You know what I mean? Of consistently bringing in talent and then letting that talent develop and be successful. So I won't blame that. I won't blame that on him.
So this is the thing. My man DC Slim is talking about Shanny didn't call the defense. This is the problem with that, though. You do know, like, I mean, you watch football, we all watch football.
Bro.
All right, the problem it's like when you were up 28, 27 and whatever. We was at 28-3, 28-3, right?
28-3.
And you out there throwing the football?
Yes.
You throwing the football, you're putting your deep against, and you're playing Tom Brady. Come on, let's be real. And any level of football, bro. Any level of football, you're going 3 and out, and you putting your defense back on the field like that. That is your fault. Like, and that's you're not even running the football. You are throwing the football. Yep. And you're not running the football. And you could run the football. You chose to throw the football. Yep. That is an offensive problem, bro. That is not like you put your defense. No, we're not going to do that. We all watch football. We all know football. Now, so I'm not going into the Super Bowl. That's not an excuse. That's real talk. Like if Cliff Kingsbury did that, you'd be mad at Cliff Kingsbury. Let's keep it a bean. Like I'm not going to do that. All right. So, but I will ask you this, DC Slim, because you asked, like, I respect this question though, because you always ask it. I want to ask this question to you, and you can respond to it in the chat. Do you think the Commanders will fire Dan Quinn? Not should we? Do you? Because I'm a believer in realist. I'm a realist. I'm gonna ask you this: do you think the Commanders will fire Dan Quinn? Not what you think they're going to do, or what you think, what you feel they should do. Do you think they're going to fire Dan Quinn? Because then, I want to I want to see where you're at. If you think they're going to fire him, then we'll see. I'll bet on the other side say they won't fire him because I just don't think they will. But do you think they're going to fire him? That's my question to you. Do you think they're going to? Not if you believe they should fire him. Do you think they will fire him?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I understand, DJ, but we have the opportunity to get a younger head coach. See, this is what I'm saying. Y'all saying we got the opportunity. Listen. We're not gonna do make believe. No. This is the thing. We're not gonna do make believe. I'm gonna ask the question to folks in the chat. Not any if this, that, or other happens. Do you feel like Washington will fire Dan Quinn?
See,
that's fair.
That's fair. I don't think this is a Ron Rivera situation.
Yeah,
Ron was there to stabilize the organization as a whole. It really wasn't about the product on the field. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Yeah. It really wasn't.
It really wasn't. Yeah.
And now you having to do. Let's not forget this cupboard. This cupboard had roaches in it, and there was like old boxes of rice-a-roni in the cupboard that had been there and is expired. Like this is a whole reconstruction, and they just so happen to be able to get more out of less last year, especially us. We can say that on both sides of the ball, but I say more so on the defense side of the ball because I think guys like Olamide Zaccheaus and others were key contributors to the overall scheme of what they were trying to do. You tried to add certain pieces to this to keep the ball rolling as we're trying to still bring in talent, young, and a combination of young and free agency, and you got bit by a nasty injury pandemic, and you saw what your defensive coach was not able to do with lesser talent.
Yeah.
When it's all young guys that you're going to have to coach up, you weren't able to get that done. And you also weren't able to see, too, that why do I have Mikey playing where he's playing? I'll put him back out there where he had success last year and let him build off of that. There's a whole bunch of different little things that you got to look at. That you got to look at in this. But I don't see a fire, and I think you're making a big mistake. Again, I'll tell you like I tell people with football in college. Yeah. When you sit up here and you fire guys repeatedly, you set your program back 3 to 5.
Oh, I agree.
3 to 5.
I agree.
So, you guys will be like, you got guys in here that absolutely will run through a wall for Dan Quinn.
I'm with you. No, but I want to answer this question. Like, this is the thing. I don't do this is my thing. Regardless of what you think people, not you, Dujunnea, regardless of what. This is why I'm answering the question. I'm in the when we do these pods. I don't want to do what if, and I don't want to do what if. I don't want to do what I feel, what I believe. You know what I mean? Right. Like when I said Joe Witt should be fired, I knew it was going to happen. Like I felt like it was a good chance it could happen. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't say Joe Witt get fired last year, even though I didn't like Joe Witt. There's a reason why I didn't say it last year. The reason why that didn't come out of my mouth because I knew that realistically happening in the offseason was not going to happen after the season they had. I didn't think he was a good defensive coordinator last year. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm not going to say I didn't say Joe Witt's going to be fired or whatever. Like I knew he wasn't going to get fired. So this is my thing. I'm asking you this question. It doesn't matter how you feel. This is the question. Do you believe that Dan Quinn, and I'm talking to the chat, that people respond, like in the chat, other than the people I've seen respond, I'm talking about you, DC Slim, Paul, I think you kind of already said, you probably pretty much had the vibe of it. Do you feel Dan Quinn's going to be fired? There's no excuses. There's no chatter about what I feel or what my beliefs is or whatever. Do you feel that Dan Quinn's going to get fired? You feel like the amount of games he's called is enough for him to get fired? Do you believe at this moment he will be fired at the end of the season? That's it. If you say yes, it's a yes or no. If you believe he's going to be fired, then we'll see at the end of the season. If you don't believe that he's going to be fired, then I ain't gonna lie to you, my guy. You're wasting energy. That's all I'm saying. You're wasting energy. DQ, that's what I'm saying. That's all it is. And like, if you believe it, that's all I'm asking for. But let me get you my keys real quick. My keys are like run the football, create turnovers. I'm glad you mentioned my man Mikey. On the outside. Look, man, that's one thing I get mad at Dan Quinn and Joe Whitten, whoever is calling defenses. Like, that is a failure on your side, bro. Like, you putting Mikey on in slot. I don't know what you doing as coaches. I ain't gonna lie. In that element, when somebody is playing good at one side and you decide to move him in the inside, look, it's like night and day, bro. Like, look, night and day. You ain't hear nothing on night Mikey like that on Sunday. You barely, like, other than the fumble, the Kim not catching that punt and dropping the interception in terms of coverage, you ain't hearing nothing about him in Miami. I guess in Miami game, Mikey we saw last year on the outside.
Yep.
For 2 straight weeks.
100.
What they did with Mikey, they need to check themselves. Period. What they do, they need to check themselves at how they coach defense, because that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, right. Yeah, like you were happy. You were happy. I got Trey has been awesome. You know what I mean? Like, you already had Marshawn and whatnot. I know you want to play more man, but what you did with Mikey was coach him out, like my man Santiago said, it's coaching malpractice. That was ridiculous. Yep. You set him up. You set him up for failure.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, everybody questioning, we could have had good playing Mikey. And I said this all.
They set Marshawn Lattimore up for failure as well.
That too. But I've been saying this. You could have had good playing Mikey, and this dude wasn't playing great football, and still leads this team in interceptions.
I can tell you why they can't run through a wall on the field, and I said that earlier. Mm-hmm. You're seeing the difference now, DC Slim. It was coaching, and the only problem that Dan Quinn had with this whole situation is that he is a nice guy, and he was letting his young coach figure it out, but he let him figure it out too long. That's not a fireable offense, though.
Yeah,
he made a mistake.
Yeah,
honest mistake.
But even that. But again, this is the thing, dude. You shouldn't even like. This is my thing. This is these are like hypothetical questions. This is what you're getting me. Has Dan done things this year that should be fired?
No.
Like, this is the thing, bro. This is what I'm talking about. One, all right. Let's be real. Let's look at all right. The history of football. Let's even do this in the history of football, because everybody's watched football in life. In the history of football, a coach who just came. This is his first 2 years. I don't think Dan Quinn did a good job this year. So I'll put that out there. Let me understand. I think Dan Quinn did a bad job this year. So let me put that out there. So let you know where I'm coming from. All right. In the history of football, a new coach, first year, takes a team, regardless of what you believe he took the team or not, with him as a coach, they go to the NFC Championship game. Year 2, they slump. Do you really, and I'm being real with people, in the history of watching football, are they getting fired that second year? I mean, like real talk. Like, I ain't even talking about what I like or don't like. I didn't let you know already that I think he did a bad job this year. I even put that out there. Dan Quinn did a bad job this year. In the history of football, the years of you watching football, have you ever in your life seen from year 1 to like even Cliff in Arizona from year 1, year 3 had a horrible year. He still got another year.
Yep.
Like, if you want to complain, real talk, if you're going to complain about Dan Quinn, Marty was fired, in 1 year. That's 8-8. Jim Zorn, he finished the year bad, though. They finished what? They started off hot. I talked about NFC Championship year in year 1. So they basically just say postseason year 1. Let me put it this way. Postseason year 1, year 2, after the season, he's fired. Have you seen that? Marty is not. That's not an example, because Marty had 1 year. And that was 1 year, and that was here. But I'm talking about 1 year, and that's bad examples. That's Dan Snyder. So that's horrible ownership. That's another situation. That's a whole different situation. So you can't name a responsible ownership or a responsible organization to ever do that. You can't name one. Period. And ain't no excuse or nothing. In your years of watching football, in your years of watching football. Because if that was the case, real talk, Joe Gibbs could get fired his first year in the NFL. I'm just being real. Them taking the way Joe Gibbs started his career, his tenure in DC, the way he started, he wouldn't even finish out that year, bro.
Nah, man.
Hey, DC Slim, name me the example. You haven't named me one. Don't say it happened many times. Name me an example. Don't just say it. Name me the example. Put it out in the chat. Like I'm saying, postseason year one, as a new coach to a new coach season year one, and then let me know. The Cowboys did it as well. What year? You mean what's that took them to the Super Bowl? What year? What year was that for the Cowboys?
Was it Dave Campo year?
I mean, you naming bad organizations, I guess you can name that. Y'all naming Jerry Jones and Daniel Snyder. That let me know a lot right now.
Exactly.
That's what you let me know a lot. So the ones you naming it, if you're gonna say the Cowboys, Jerry Jones and Dan Snyder. Wow, let's go with that. 96. Yeah, Jerry Jones and Dan Snyder.
That was a stupid firing too.
Yeah,
because him and Jimmy couldn't get along.
Yeah, but I'm saying
that's dumb.
You talking about Jimmy? You talking about Jimmy firing Jimmy, right?
I think it was
that was
Jimmy,
ego. That was an ego thing. Yeah, 96. Is that Jimmy? That may be Jimmy. But
that had to be Jimmy.
But then you're naming. But that's my example. You're naming bad ownership. That's an example. Like that's again. You're like helping my
Look
example.
At the seasons that the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah,
have
he's
had.
right. Yeah.
How many coaches have they gone through?
Like real talk. The way people talking in this chat, dog, y'all probably want to fire Mike Tomlin for real.
And would be the reason why the organization would continue to stay where it is.
But look what look at not proven. I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're doing. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the ones that stay, like the ones, and I'm waiting too, DC Slim. I know you ain't named one yet, but now DC Slim, you ain't named me a team yet, bro. You ain't even named me a team yet. You just saying stuff. You ain't named me a team yet. Name me a team.
Exactly.
Name me a team. The tuna, giving an example. The tuna, giving an example. Is that like that's still Cowboys, right? Because nobody. He left. The Patriots, no. The Patriots. The tuna with the Patriots.
They didn't want him. They never even gave him a fair shot.
He coached his Patriots to the Super Bowl, and then he left. But he left though. He left.
Yeah, he left.
He left.
Because Tuna left Dallas too.
Yeah, the Pats. He left the Pats though.
Yeah,
he left the Pats. They ain't fire him. They left the Pats.
He left.
He left the Pats. They ain't fire him. He left.
He did the same thing in Dallas. He
quit.
He got tired of Jerry Jones.
He quit. He left.
They had let.
That the year he won Super Bowl, but he was there for multiple years though. He was there for more than like 2 years. He was after the Super Bowl, but he left though. He left. He didn't get fired. He chose his replacement.
Yeah,
he chose Bill.
He could have won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he chose his replacement. That's what I'm saying.
Had too much talent.
That's what I'm saying. Like again, name me a good somebody. But I know what you're doing. I respect that. Burgundy and Go for Life. I know what you're doing.
Yeah,
I respect that.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
He didn't get his team. He didn't get his team ready this year. That's on him. He left the franchise quarterback. Look, man. Again, y'all not naming me examples, bro. You gotta name me examples. Yeah, organizations. Yeah, bad organizations. I know, bro. Mm-hmm. Believe me, I know. Yep. That's what I'm saying. Burgundy Go for Life. I know.
I mean, we can't go back in history with this organization and see the firings that have happened and how bad this has been.
This is the thing. You complain about bad ownership. I'm giving you the examples that you're talking about firing these coaches are from bad ownership. Give me an example of an organization that I might say organization. Give me an example of a team that's done that. And I'll rock with you, but y'all not giving me any examples other than like Burgundy and Gold for Life is giving me examples, but he's giving me the examples showing that's bad organizational play. Give me an example. None of y'all are giving me any examples though. That's what I'm saying. I'm practical. So when I say this, I'm saying this is being practical. Like y'all keep saying fire somebody, and I'm telling y'all in year 2, I'm just telling you it's not going to happen. You saying this team this year, so you gonna think it's gonna happen? All right, you think it's gonna happen this year? All right. And I can guarantee it won't happen. I can pretty much guarantee it won't happen. And that's not me favoring anything. Because again, if your argument that he did a bad job this year, what did I say, Dujunnea? He did a bad job this year.
He did. He did do a bad job.
I'm saying he's doing a bad job this year.
His worst thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
His worst thing is the defense and not taking control and taking it over the range. The eye test was clear. I mean, it's clear to fans, so it's got to be clear to you. And I understand
they didn't go. Sorry, Brian Flores didn't go to the playoffs that year.
So I understand a guy. Trying to help his guy, but at the same time, you gotta help your guy when you see he's damn near hanging himself.
Matt Nagy did how many years in Chicago? He did 3 years in Chicago, right?
Yeah. Yep.
He didn't even do 2 years. He did 3 years in Chicago. What are we doing? I said for his first year, Matt Nagy did how many years in Chicago?
And Matt Nagy, and a lot of those.
Sorry, Matt Nagy did 1, 2, 3. He did 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. He did 4 years in Chicago. That's not my example, bro. Again, he did 4 years in Chicago. Matt Nagy did 4 years in Chicago.
4.
I'm looking at his joint right now. Blind 4 years. What are we doing here, bro?
I think they even gave like Crazy Eyes in like 2 or 3 years, didn't they? But you can't even use the Jets. You can't even use the Jets because they're a bad organization too.
You can't use the Dolphins because they're a bad organization. That fire was off some bull crap. This wasn't even on, whatever. The Dolphins ain't a good organization.
No, they're not. They're not.
That's what I'm saying. We using examples from bad organizations and we try and Come on, man. Because Paul, you know better, Paul. Paul, you know better. Paul, you know better, bro. You know better, bro. Stop it. We a bad organization now? Okay. Now we a bad, like, we supposed to be a bad organization now. Y'all know better, man. Y'all gotta stop doing this, bro. Think about what we saying. We are a fumble. Yeah. I mean, we could, that too. That's possible. I'm just saying, but we gotta close this thing out. That's all I'm saying. It was good, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I love the banter, man. You know I love y'all, man. Even though I talk it, I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. It's good to be back in the swing of things, man. I kind of feel better about stuff, man. Hey, man, look. You talking about that? Look, man. Look again. You saying fireable? I'm asking you a question about. Do you think he's going to? Do I think or whatever? I'm like,
it's either
he going to do it. You
fired or not?
He going to get fired or not? I'm telling you what. I don't waste my brain on like he should be fired or whatever. If that's the case, bro, like real talk. If that's the case, I would have been like wasting my time and said I think Chris Rodriguez should have been the starting running back. I've been close to that, but I knew he wasn't going to.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't go into stuff like that.
Me neither.
A full open panel. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Oh, man. Maybe one day I'll do that. I'll probably do it in the off season. Then we can talk about what moves we can make. I could do an off season full panel. Maybe I'll do that. Hey, Dujunnea, before I let you go, bro, let folks know how they can catch you on social media and catch your great podcast.
It's Not Bland 21 on everything. Love talking shop with you guys. You can check out the show at the Not Bland Show. We're going to be getting into a little bit more football here as the season winds down. The NHRA season and drag racing season winds down. But hey, man, come over there and learn something about drag racing, about 341 mile an hour drag racing. It is at the Not Bland Show on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get these subscriptions up.
Yeah, get them up,
man, we'd love to have you over there. And join the family and learn a little bit about drag racing as we're getting more and more of it, man. IHRA is making a return to its glory days, and we'll have a full-on championship season next year. So a lot of places for people to race, and we're going to have an opportunity to have some good racing. But, man, we're going to talk a lot of football as we get down the stretch here. And we're going to start having some folks on as well, like Wole and his guys over there to talk a little basketball as well. So we're starting to get into the thick of things of that. And, the Lakers are doing their thing. They may not have did it yesterday.
I know we got smashed yesterday. I know. We was missing everybody, though. We was missing everybody.
Yeah. But, we're going to get into a lot of it. So as playoff football gets in, we're going to really get into it. So, come on over and join us. It's every Tuesday, 7:30. Sometimes we do Monday shows at 6 o'clock. And actually, no, it is 4 o'clock, but you can always rewatch them. They're also on any podcasting streaming service that you use. They also are in the audio version. So we're on Spotify, all of that.
Oh, man. Yeah. Make sure y'all pull up and make sure y'all tune into my guy, Dujunnea, man. Support If y'all haven't subscribed to it, make sure y'all subscribe to his pod right now. Hit that. Oh, you got a link? Let me put that. Let me get you. Dude, I'm gonna add that. Let me add this link in real quick. I can actually do this real quick.
Right.
Let me do this real quick. Hold on. My YouTube. Give me like Paul. Give me 2 seconds, my guy. I'm about to get that right now. Not Bland. There we go. My God.
And while he looking for that, y'all Bama fans, get off my lawn. Y'all come in here with all that disrespect.
Bama fans.
Last all week you talking about how y'all gonna beat Georgia, and I told y'all when they lost the first meeting against Bama, if Georgia could put together 2 halves of football, they'd have won that meeting. When they started putting together 2 halves of football on defense, guess what? Curb stomp people, and they curb stomp you tonight. Get off my lawn.
I got it. It's in the chat, so make sure y'all hit him up, man. Hit my man Dujunnea up on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, man. Also, everybody in the chat, man, make sure y'all like this video right now. Like it on all platforms. Like this on Not Bland YouTube channel. Also,
it's live there as well.
And also the Urban Sports Scene. If you're on there, hit that like button, man. Yeah, Paul's already on it. Already on it.
Appreciate you, Paul.
Man, I don't want to talk about Ohio State, man. I'm upset about Ohio State.
I'm hoping it's Indiana.
Of course.
But realistically,
yeah.
I don't know. This could be tighter. This could be tighter than people think. Because you look at Ohio State's schedule a lot of times. Cupcake. They got a couple hard games, and they would have. If you had a better Michigan team, they'd have lost to them this year too.
Lost to us, man. We had them. We had them early. We had turnovers. We had them.
I'm going with Indiana tonight, though. I'm going with Indiana tonight, DC Slim.
DC Slim, because of my hate, I'm going Indiana. Because I just hate Ohio State. I hate them.
Yeah.
I mean, I would curse, but I'm trying not to curse on this show today. But fuck it. I'm cursing anyway. Oh, fuck eyes, man. Can't stand that squad.
Got that right. Can't stand that squad.
Can't stand that squad, man. Can't stand the fuck eyes, man. Can't stand them, man.
That's funny.
Got personal, man. Can't stand that team, man. Shoot. Damn, we should beat them. We should have beat them. Oh my God, man.
Man, I was so disappointed.
Man, quarterback is like,
don't
get me started. He's not supposed to be mid. You know how much he costs?
Yeah, a lot.
Man.
Be doing it. He shouldn't be doing it.
Man, he should be
out here playing like Carson.
Yeah, man. Like he can't even throw the ball, bro. Like, you still mad. Yeah. Why you throwing shade? Why you throwing shade? You ain't slick, dude. I see what you're doing here. I hate that. I hate Ohio State now. I really hate Ohio State. There's no way we should have got beat there. I was like, we got their number. And then they punked us. No what? This ain't a college show. We out. Hey, you know what, man? I appreciate everybody for tuning in. You guys are dope, man. For the folks who talk about Michigan, y'all know what y'all can do with yourselves. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene for ages. Yeah, dig. Deuces. We are out. Peace.